Hey, how are ya? I just had a real good sneeze fest. Um, I got another one coming. Whew. Yep, that's my night tonight. I was doing okay until I started the video. And this started happening. Holy doodles. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Give me a moment to get my sneezing under control here. Holy crap. Which means my cold tablet must be wearing off. Hey, thank you. I literally started the stream to the Facebook before I did the live. And I just started this massive sneeze fest. Oh my god. Whoops, my phone just fell. Alright. I'll get going in a moment here. Wow. Alright, which means these cold tablets must be working. Because one must be wearing off right now. Oh my god. Let me get one of these taken and then we should be good to get going to get started here. My eyes are crying. I'm sneezing. Whew. I had a better day, but still struggling with this cold. Okay. Alright. Hey everyone. Me looking horrible, but that's okay. Oh. Yeah, I got more coming through. More sneezies. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's kind of get into tonight's craft. Oh. I can really feel it. The sneezy, sneezy, sneezy. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Alright, so I got these scraps of papers here. I'm used to doing this when I'm home by myself. Let me get these arranged a little better. That way you guys can actually see what we're working with. So I usually do this differently when it's just me, myself, and I here. Oh. No, that's okay. I whatever name you want to go by tonight. My friend. No, it's okay. It probably because between the vendor events and here and there and around people, like I'm sure somewhere along the last 3-4 weeks, I probably picked up something somewhere. So I've got 4 papers. I grabbed some white. I gotta grab another thing here. So we're doing scrappies to the backs of my planner pages. Oh my goodness. So here's my paper trimmer. Let me bring it more into view. That way you guys can actually see what I'm doing, so I can actually explain. Because I realized the past, I don't know, probably 6 months or so, I probably don't explain much well on video. So I cut these down to a 1/2 inch. Now I gotta be careful, because I accidentally knocked one of the blades on the floor yesterday. So I started a while back using white paper for some of the scrappies, because I have so much white paper. I might as well use them, you know. These are just, you know, leftover pieces from die cuts and whatever. So I hang on to them when they're good enough size that I can use them for scrappies. And then I got, this is not white. Oh yeah, you can actually see it on camera. It's a beigey, creamy, I don't know what kind of color the heck it is. Oh, I'm so congested. I'm doing better today, surprisingly. But earlier was like, holy crap, no way, no how. Was off yesterday, because I'm like, yesterday woke up and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to work yesterday. There's just no freaking way. Took the day off, was home, did a lot of rest. Did some stuff here, did some scrappies. Just, it's, I don't have the word that I want to use. Just kind of around the house. Did some stuff. Tried to stay with it. Okay, so we got those cut. Let me clear my sinuses again. Oh, Let's see if we can get going here. And here's Buddy. He's nearby. Little boy's under me. Hi, Boo Boo. I offer him to say hi, but I'm trying to not have the doggy give me kisses. Okay. So, speaking of doggies, my sheet for the night. Hi, baby. He's under me. This came right out of my planner. Dog treats. I actually remind myself on a daily basis, try to get my dog some treats because they're good kids. So what I do is, first of all, I got way too many holes in here because this is one of my original sheets for my planners. When I was using a different binder, but I've swapped to only a 3-hole, not a 6-hole. But this has like a lot more holes than that because I was alternating between the binders. So what I do is I put a strips of paper on this to help reinforce this because over time, this one's starting to get a little, winged up there with damage. That way, it'll straighten it a little better. So that's step one. And I'm just going to use the sheets on the table to do that. So, I grab a piece. I always throw it the white. No, it's kind of hard to see on the table, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to get some adhesive on there. Buddy's decided to run upstairs and start barking. And then just start running adhesive all along here. Not all along, but just enough to get this started. Get that piece in. And then grab the next color. So this has a little divot in it from a hole punch. Now, I checked to see, because these strips are 1/2 inch. I probably should have said that. Now, if that section is just above a 1/2 inch, I'll use that section. So let me do it on camera here. So I'm going to snip that. That way, that piece is still really good, even though it's really small. But I work with it. And just get some more adhesive on there. Stick that down. And then the next color. Same kind of thing. I'm doing this way over here on my table. And it's okay that there's adhesive poking through the holes, because on the back side, we're going to totally cover this. Now, you guys, if you've been following me for a few years, you know I've been doing this Scrappy technique for years. This is nothing new. Whoops. I got stuff sticking here. But I love it. So then I got this greeny piece. And of course, I'm doing Christmas style with these papers, because I figure, you know what, for the month of December, use Christmas paper for my Scrappies. That way, throughout the year, if I still have some of these, it's kind of cool. I can know, hey, I decorated these back when it was Christmas time. So, a bit of a cool thing. So the length it takes to do up one of these sheets fully is at least a 1/2 hour, so bear with me. Plus, those white sections, we're going to color those in. And it's a great way of using up white paper. And there we go. So there we go. That's done. I just got to trim that off. But that way you can see it makes this a little stronger for paper. Because over time, when you use a binder, it's going to get damaged. It's going to get ripped. It's going to get torn. Or the dog's going to try to eat it, etc., etc. So yeah, and I always have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I always have 6 different things on the table. So here's what this used to be. So yeah, there we go. There is a sheet for my planner. So I was hoping the sheet I was going to grab tonight would be something I can actually show on camera. So then flip over. And then I'm going to put a strip here, strip there of adhesive. And kind of build from there. So I'll just move this sideways so you guys can actually see. Yeah, I'm used to doing this not on camera. Because this camera has a super wide angle. It's a little finicky to work with. And I'm really disastrous tonight, but that's okay. I just got some adhesive on that strip when I should not have. Oh, well, I'll work around it. But yeah, having a head cold, not fun. But it's that seasonal time. I almost always get sick in December, January, or whatever. Hopefully this is it for this year. Alright, I'll work around it. So I got one strip. The second strip, I'm on the middle. And this runner is running out, so I got the refill nearby. And then this one along that edge. And then I just fill in as needed for the smaller strips. So there we go. And I always start along the bottom. Let me kind of get in view here. So I grab one of these. I always start with the white again. It's a habit. Because I have so much white. I'm trying to get this to go, but for some reason, it's not letting me tonight. Hold on. There we go. I just gotta be a little stronger with it. One of the dogs is digging. All I hear is dig, 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 dig. Oh, silly doodles. Now, with the white strips, you don't have to color them in. I do just for the heck of it, but I think it's pretty cool. But you can always leave them white. But yeah, so I add adhesive as needed as I go through here. Just looking for the other piece. I probably should have arranged this a little better on my desk, but I didn't. Now this is a really long piece, so I just put what I can. And then cut the excess off. So I just flip over. And I cut throughout. That way I can still use that piece some more until it's depleted. And what's nice is when you have really good long strips, this goes a hell of a lot faster. But you know me, I gotta do my scrappies. Okay, that one is not long enough. Alright, let me trim it. I should have checked, I thought it was long enough. Now, something to keep in mind, let me show you. Sorry, I turn the page a lot when I do this. So something to keep in mind. This, hold on, let me get this in view. Hold on. This piece goes almost to the end, but not quite. I will shorten this because I don't like it having too close to the edge. Because it does kind of muck up a little if you have it too, just almost, but not enough. So there, I just made a smaller piece. That way I line up to see there to there, and I put some adhesive there to ensure it's going to stick on. That way, see? And here we go. Alrighty, so I'm going to start getting a little faster. I'll just kind of do the first round to show you how I do this, but I am going to speed up soon and just motor through doing this because I don't really want to be here all night. As much as I'd love to, but no. And then flip over, that piece is still good. And then I've got this little teeny tiny bugger from before. See, the minimum I'll do is 1/2 inch. But if I can try to make it bigger, I would. All right, so there we go. So that is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces in. I usually do it in rounds of 6. So I'm gonna grab my next white, and I'll replenish these as I go because I will have to do that for some of the colors in sheets. But I try to grab what I need at a time for the moment and just kind of see where it goes. So here's another one with that divot in it. And that piece is just enough. I just kind of measure up against one of the other ones. Because these were left over from hole punching I was doing for one of my card classes. Oops. Anyway. Oh, the joys of being sick. I got things sticking everywhere here. Hold on. But yeah, I don't usually do it this way with my desk this messy. Like, I like this camera, but I don't like this camera. So I need to figure that out. Because if I zoom it out, it's gonna fisheye it pretty bad. And that's what I don't like about this camera. So I might have to play with it some more new year. Get my tech support involved on how can I make this a little better. I use a program to zoom in. Which zooming in is not a bad thing, actually. Alright, so then I got this, which that will still do for that piece. I'm just going to trim off that edge. That way you can see in view. So, this technique's not for everyone. There's people who are like, they can't be bothered to do this for an hour. Me, I've done this so many times. I enjoy it a lot. And we got this beautiful piece. Just going to pull some of that adhesive off because I got really stuck on there pretty good. Yeah, it's good enough. And yes, depending on how you move around, this will stick to your hand, I will admit. Just checking that's still rule of 6. Flip over. Now, some of these pieces are double-sided. This one is. The other ones are not. In case you're wondering, like, why is that one double-sided? Alright, I need some more white. This is where I pause. Now, this is a bag of white strips, but this is not my only bag of white strips. I have a lot more than that to pick from. So, I just grab as I need. I have a lot of white paper, so this helps me really make sure I can use this up. Alright, I'll just kind of bring in this here. That way you can still kind of see what the heck I'm doing. So 1/2 inch. There we go. And then this just gets discarded. Alright, so we're gonna start moldering our way through here. So how's everyone doing? I know I've been busy, I've been sick, I've been doing vendor events, I got other problems and other things happening. Life stuff, work stuff, etc., etc. But yeah, I love doing this to my planner pages. I think it's really, really cool. And it makes it personal. It makes it uniquely mine. It makes me want to care about this planner because I'm actively decorating it. Although for the last couple months I stopped decorating because I was really busy with trying to get ready for vendor events. But here we are. And I try to use the smaller strips first, personally, to get by with this concept. I'm out of a color. I just realized that now. That's okay. We'll fix that in a moment. Because that's where we have the back side of that. Because that green is gone. I just realized that now. I need more adhesive down there. I'm sure it's going to stick on. And then grab that other one. Flip over. Yeah, my edges are pretty frayed because my blade is really, really crappy. Hey, it's all good. No worries. Do what you need to do, my friend. Alright. And I need another white piece of strip. So you see how this has come along quite nicely? Looks cool, eh? Oh. Like, yes, I probably could prep a whole whack ahead of time. I'm like, yeah, I'll just keep it random like this. It makes it interesting for me. For me and me only. Okay, I'm just doing a doodle check. No, there's no doodles under me. Good to know. And then just continue on. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out this week about a few things going on in my life. Hoping for things to go a little better soon. And we'll get there. Okay, that piece, because it's so close to the edge, I'm going to trim it down. But yeah, no, my mind's on some stuffs lately. There we go. So that little bit hanging off, we're not going to keep that. That's just going to go because that is less than half an inch. So bye-bye. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need more white again. I know I make it more complicated than what it needs to be by doing this little tiny bits at a time, but that's just how I roll. That is literally how I roll with this. Guess it has its own whimsy fun to it, at least for me anyway. And yeah, I try to use as much scraps as possible to be able to do this. Now I'm just going to check that size. That is just a ½ inch. There we go. The little tiny piece. And it's sometimes fun to see how many times I'm able to do this over and over on a sheet like this. To see like how long does it last. So I'm going to do a shout out to Renly. He is our new little mascot. I found out from our friend Evelyn, who goes by many names apparently, that he loves to watch my videos and enjoys my voice. So hi Renly, how you doing? We'll have to feature you at some point in one of these videos, and that way you can say hi to everyone and be a cute cuddly kitty or something. That would be adorable. I mean, we are colored a kitty, so yes. I think it's kind of cool that there's a cat that really likes my videos. It tickles me the right way. People were like, is that your cat? I'm like, no, it's not my cat. My point is, this cat likes to watch my videos. Love that sparkle, eh? I love like that somewhat randomness that this does. You know, it just keeps it interesting for a look to it. We're gonna need some more paper. Alright, so at this point, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need a new color to add to the mix. So I'm just gonna group these a little better so you can actually see them. Now I have a big box of scraps of Christmas paper here. And I just dive in, grab whatever's next. That's gonna work. Yep, and away we go. So I've got these to work with next. I gotta cut these down. So a lot of these are not prepped. I prep as I go, which makes the project a lot longer. Hence why this is going to take me over a ½ hour. I guarantee that. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because I enjoy doing this. And then, so, once I feel better, I gotta get back onto my very lengthy crafty to-do list for 2026. What's next is my calendars. I have worked on a little bit of it. Enough to prep the back end with the calendar aspect, the pages. I haven't printed it yet. But I'll get to that probably this weekend. And then after that, I gotta figure out my January class and so on. So, it's gonna be a good year. What I'll probably do is work on what are my classes for 2026 instead of doing like a month at a time. Maybe sit down and actually do a whole whack of it and plan it out. So I gotta come up with some great ideas. I think that'll be more value for me to actually plan more at once versus, you know, 1 month at a time. So we shall see. I already have my dates lined up. Maybe I'll plant some themes. I'll figure it out. So definitely looking forward to that. Let's see, is this going to go all the way across? Yes, it went all the way across. Woohoo! It's fun when you have a piece that's, you know, just the right size. Now, this cutoff, can I use that? Nope, that's too small. That's okay. Now this piece is almost the length. So, we're going to make things a little interesting. We're going to snip it. And then because we're using this piece again, we're just going to snip it again in a moment. Oops, once I glue this down properly. So let's grab that, snip it one more time. And it's a great way of trying to use up scraps of paper in a fun way. At least for me, it's a fun way. And that goes on. That is a different red, in case you're wondering. Yep. And then snip that. And then I gotta grab some new stuffs again. So we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4. I need the white and the beige again. And I'm sniffly again. Let me clear that. I had a crazy idea last week. Thinking about, should I do like Christmas all year round? That might be a little chaotic. I thought about it. I'm like, maybe not for 2026, but I might consider that in the future. Is do literally an all year round Christmas. That would be amusing. So there we go. There's our papers we're going to cut. Making good progress here. Slow, but I take the slow route. Because it's relaxing, and I needed a relaxing craft tonight because, you know, not having a good week, not feeling that great, and I did kick my butt I gotta do my video. I gotta get back to doing these videos again. I've been doing a lot of thinking, so let me double back a bit. So in our Stampin' Up team, we have a good leader, and she actually issued a challenge for next month, but we can start working on it now for kind of looking, you know, look back at the last year, how we did in that, like for our own goal setting and how do we we accomplish what we want to do, what we want to do next year. And I do take that into consideration because it helps to have a plan, and I'm not great at planning. Hence why I've been working on planners to kind of get my life in order. But with that in mind, it does bring up a good question of, well, what's next? So there's a couple projects that I took on this year that was really not a good idea, but that's okay. You know, live and learn, try new things and see what happens. So one of those is going. I'm more or less finished. I'm just kind of half hanging in there to help with any loose ends in it. And then I'm off to, well, what's next? I would love to do my really big venue plays that I want to do, but this year's really kind of gone a different direction that I will not be doing it next year yet unless something magically changes. But in the meantime, in the foreseeable, my plans, it's like, yeah, that's not happening yet, which is too bad. I might have to look into that in the following year because I just would love to do it, but life's just telling me now's not the time, so. And that's okay. But yeah, and then like part of what came up is people like Evelyn have asked, are you gonna do a video? I'm like, no, like I don't do daily videos anymore. I stopped doing that. So would I get back to doing daily videos? I don't know. It's a lot. And where I'm at these days in my life, it's like there's just no way in hell I'm gonna be doing daily videos. Alright, so this is coming on quite nicely. Let's put it aside. We need more paper. So we need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might as well grab another color too while I'm at it. So let me pull those out. Because I think we only, that one double-sided, there's not much left of it. Alright, so let me get a piece away here. I know, I make this like so complicated. That's how I am. Grab another piece from here. Alright, good enough for the moment. At least this technique helps me bring down my Christmas scrap paper too. Otherwise, what do you do with it? It is creative. But yeah, I'm starting to think about what's 2026 going to be for me. That is a great freaking question. I don't know. Like, there are some things I know. I'm just not going to tell you in this video. But yeah. And there was things this year that didn't quite work out for me. And that's too bad. And that's okay. But I think, you know, looking back, it's like, yeah, I need to put my energy into things that's actually going to work for me. Instead of things that wasn't working. Where just because, so there's a piece, I need just that length. So what I do is I try to grab one of these that's already decent, because that will just do. There we go. Just about. It's just a hair under, but I'll roll with it. And we got this good strip here that will almost cover, so we're going to snip some off. To be able to use it up a little while longer. See, I'm hoping this weekend I'll have one of the calendars going for the Sunday video. That way I can already start showing them off. And I'm glad I grabbed that green because I was going to need it. There we go. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna. We won't need that much, but I'm still gonna prep anyway. That way, if I feel like doing more later. So I need a white and a colored. Just look at my box of goodies. Because if I see more of the paper like this, I'll already grab it. That way, put them together. But if not, that's okay. Alright. Hey, welcome back. I've been chatting away. Making slow progress on this because I'm really slow when I do this, but that's okay. Talking about the future. Talking about goal, not so much goal setting per se, but just the act of starting to think about what's my goals for 2026 and what I want to work on and what do I want to do and I don't know yet and on and which I'll figure it out. Alright, so here's where we're at. We're almost done. Just got the last row at the top, but it's come on quite nicely. So even though it's actually thinner than 1/2 inch, I still roll with it. So I get some good adhesive, extra adhesive on there. We're going to trim the excess off anyway. And then one more adhesive. And ta-da! We did it. Alright, so I'm just going to trim this. As you can see on the bottom, actually you can't see it very well. You can see it there now. There's excess. So I'm going to trim that off because it actually makes the sheet a little longer. Which is not what I'm going for, but that's okay. There we go. So let's flip over. Now we can see here is the player. I have a hole punch. We'll get to that in a bit. And then flip over. And there's my decorated back end, which looks really cool. Alright, so then we're going to do some coloring. At least I am anyway. Those white strips, I can leave them white or I can color them. And I'm going to color them. So I'm going to cap my adhesive. I'm going to put these strips away. Because I've been doing this for the last couple days, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta start working on some good projects again. So my quest is kind of, sort of, do this once a day. The strips. When I'm not swamped for time. So that's my quest. So I have little baggies that I put these in. That way I know they're paired up with the right colors, kind of thing. That way I know when I come back to this, I can get back on it. And I keep all these prepped ones in an empty paper pumpkin box, along with the other beige ones there. Because that's an easy figure it out. That way, come tomorrow, I can continue with that project. Alright, so next up is coloring. I'll put my scissors away. So, I just take a pencil. I go kind of OCD, light to dark. So I'm on this type of yellow now because I've gone through a couple of these pencils. Flip over to this. I'm going to do that bottom white piece. And literally just color it in. And that's it. That is the only technique. That way it just gives it some color. Because it's already white paper anyway. Like so. Sometimes the color comes up a little too strong, but you know what? I don't really care.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay. Apparently that device wants attention. Alright, so there we go. There's that. That way you can... It really pops, eh? When you color those in. So then just start with all the white ones. If I so choose to do so. But it's a great way of using up white paper. It's a great way of using up, if you have lots of coloring stuff, like pencils, pens, markers, whatevers. I could color them ahead of time, but I just like to do it as is. In case I feel like doing something different. In case I look and be like, I want to do a different color. So... And yes, I sharpen a lot when I do these. Because I like a really good tip on my pencils. And actually, this pencil was given to me. One of our good friends was like, I don't need some supplies. I'm like, hey, I'll take them. I'll put them to use somewhere. So personally, this is Crayola, not my interest. Our Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils are pretty good. But each to their own. Everyone's got their preferences. Some people like Crayola. I wouldn't buy Crayola, personally. They're great for kids, to be honest. But for those who are a little more advanced, they're not that helpful. But you can see how it really gives a pop of color. Now, if I really wanted to be more with it, I would pick a different color. But I really don't care. I'm kind of going a little fast tonight. Kind of catch up before bed. But yeah, this is definitely my jam, doing this. I love doing this type of stuff. Alright, but see how cool that looks? It just, I mean, versus the white and the color, it just pops, eh? Like, I'm addicted to doing Scrappy. I really am. Like, I could do this all day. I really could. But then it does get boring. But yeah, I have a whole list. So, picking the goal setting, I have a whole list of projects I really want to do in the new year. So, I'm going to have to really come up with a plan on how I want to accomplish it. And a lot of it is this, too. I have a lot of Scrappy pages to do for this planner. Because I use a lot of, as you noticed at the top of the video, this was a reused piece of paper where I used the backside. Flip over to reuse it kind of thing. So I use a lot with my papers. So my planner has a number of pages just like this where it needs to be decorated. And I will get there one by one. So 3 left. So we got, oh wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 rounds with this one. Wow. Sometimes usually it's like 7 is the average. All depends on the size of the paper. That's where it makes this unique, because I could use strips that are at least 5.5 inches across. Very well could. And it would go a lot faster. And that looks cool too. But no, this just gives it like a neat brick look that's inconsistently cool. And one time I actually counted how many pieces are on here. And maybe we'll count at the end, eh? To get a better idea, like, how does this work? Like, how many pieces of paper does it take to do this? And it's a lot, actually. I forget. I don't usually count. It's just sometimes I do. And I think I'll count today, because I want to know, too. Like, if we got 7 rounds, that's pretty good. Like, it's quite a few, usually, when I do this. And what's interesting is these white strips are actually textured from our die cut machine. And also the paper is slightly textured on that side too, for this cardstock at the time I used. So I had this as a sign, but I didn't use the sign. Or I used it and didn't need it, so I got rid of it by tossing to the scrap paper. Like scrap computer paper. And then here we are. Alright, so last one. I like to go against the, you know, the edges to help make it look pretty good. So I usually go a little slower with coloring. I am trying to speed up tonight. But yeah, I love doing this technique so much. Alright, there we go. Or we got that done. Alrighty. So I'm just going to dump my little garbage. Okay, so how many pieces of paper did we use? We got the sheet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. 57 pieces of paper on just one of this. That's pretty cool. So let's see the review. Reveal. And then you flip it over. Doesn't this look cool? Now we're going to hole punch it. And I can still faintly see one of the holes there, which is super crucial. Because it helps with, because I don't have an exact hole punch for this. This is adjustable, so I just kind of line up to where the hole would be anyway. And make it work. There we go. There we go. So I got two, and this is equally spaced where I need to be. So I just flip over, line up the other hole, and punch. And there we go. It's a little off. Yeah, it got a little bit chopped, but that's okay. I can work with it. And there we go. There is our planner sheet. There's a bit of give to it. Ta-da! Isn't this cool? So, now, let me show you my planner. Now, I'm just going to put that there so you can see all my notes. But you can see over time how I've done this. I just can't show you everything in my planner, though. But you see, I've done this so much, and a little more lighting, over the course of this year, that look at all these pages that I've done already. Isn't this so cool? And this is the book I've been working on, bit by bit, little bits at a time. Some of it's white because, hey, the backside's still good. It's still flipping. We got that. I got there's a bookmark, actually. We got that. Some of these are recent, because you can see some of the Christmas paper here and there, but others have been for, and some don't have white, though. That's just a purple piece of paper I used, and that's it. That was more recent, because it's got Christmas on there. Did that recently, over the weekend. Another one over the weekend, hence the color yellow. Just peeking at my own stuff. But yeah, but doesn't this make your planner, if you choose to ever do a planner, really, really cool? Like, look at that awesomeness. Like, and then there's some of my older ones here. But it's interesting over time how the colors change and fluctuate and do different things. This is just a calendar, by the way. And that's one of the older ones, too. So, there we go. There's my planner. Thanks for watching, guys. I just had to show you. So if you ever want to know more about this planner, I'll do a quick talk about it. This one is just the today pending because I have literally way too many sheets to figure out because I got behind on my planning. But I have one where I have tabs for each day of the week. And I use that to refer to, okay, what's going on for the next day so I can keep track of what's on the go. Anyways, guys, have a good night. Bye for now.